Well, hello, Blake Johnston. We are the Leg Up presented by UPC Showdown. Group 1 racing again this week, Blake.
It doesn't stop. It absolutely doesn't stop. Look there, I've got our timer going so we can stay on schedule for this radio show. We are without...
Again, we're a two-man team.
Our leader.
Fearless leader.
Oh, fearless. Yeah. Not sure about that. But we're without him today. It's the dynamic duo. I don't know what you guys thought about last week's show, but I reckon it went all right.
We thought it was good.
I thought it was red hot.
That might have been biased.
A little bit biased, but yeah, it's good to be back in the studio. It's good to be talking about Group 1 racing. And yeah, over in the West, it's all happening.
Speaking of fearless, Blake, you're looking a little bit battle-hardened.
Battle-hardened. I've got a little bit of a mark above my eye. Got into a couple of fights on the weekend, you know.
Was it with people on Facebook?
Went down to the pub and I just picked a couple of fights, you know. You should see the other guy.
I should.
I will say that. No, that's not how it all happened. So you want to know what happened?
Yeah. Well,
so basically, I've got 2 stitches above my eye. You can see that if you're watching. I know this is a audio only platform.
Yeah.
So you can't really see. You can't see my head, but it is looking a little bit worse for wear. But I actually quite like it. I think adds a little bit of character. It's like a bit of a tough sticker.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll tell you what happened. So Sunday, that's my day off. It's a quiet day. My wife was actually really sick. So she had tonsillitis. So she was sort of bedridden. I was in charge of the young fella, my little fella, Sonny. He's 3 years old. And it was sort of getting towards like lunchtime. I think it was exactly lunchtime when it happened. So he was hangry? So, he wasn't hangry. He was tired and cranky. What do you call that? Tranky.
Sure.
Yeah, so I'd made him, he likes to have his little juice bodies and he'll lay down on the lounge and sometimes he'll fall asleep. So I made him a big juice body, which he loved. He laid down on the lounge and he was enjoying that. And I thought, okay, well, I've had a rough couple of days. I've been looking after Sonny. We had to take him to the races on Saturday, which was a little bit of a stitch up because we didn't really get to enjoy it or anything like that. But I laid down myself. So he was laying on the lounge. I was laying on the floor underneath.
Yep.
All right, so I've taken my glasses off. I'm just closing my eyes. I'm enjoying myself. Maybe 5-10 minutes goes by. I'm nearly falling asleep, and I hear him say something like, "Oh, mummy's bottle." So I hear that, and I take absolutely no notice of it. Next thing, whack! Above my eye, I've copped the big, I think it have to be 3 litres, this thing. And it had just been filled up.
Is it like one of those like Frank Green water bottles? Like metal?
Yeah, metal.
Yeah, big heavy ones.
Full of water. Hits me above the eye. I yell a few profanities. I feel like I wasn't the best parent in that moment. But I reached up above my eye and there was blood on my hand, so I knew that I was in trouble. So I've gone to the kitchen. My wife wouldn't have been very impressed because I went for the country road towel.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
The country road tea towel above my eye, so I'm bleeding into my eye. I go to the bathroom, I have a look at it. Cut me straight away, so I knew, it was
a fair gash. You sent a photo through into our
It was a good gash. And I'm not real good with blood, so I started really sweating up as well. So I had to lay on the floor. My wife comes down, gets me, it's the first time she's been up in 3 days, so she was really struggling. But she gets me an ice block, and I start having that, and then I'm thinking, how am I going to get what am I going to do? How am I going to get to the hospital? I knew that I needed to go to the hospital and get a couple of stitches or something along those lines. But in all the years of playing footy or anything, head clashes, all that sort of stuff, never been cut. This is the first time.
Took a water bottle to the head from your 3-year-old.
Yeah, water bottle to the head from the 3-year-old. And I'm thinking, Kayla can't really drive. She's struggling. Should I call an ambulance? And then I was like, I can't call an ambulance. What if they get here and they they say you don't need stitches or something along those lines. So I've gone and I've had one more look at it, and I was like, okay, well, I need to go to hospital. So I sort of gathered myself together. I got into the passenger seat. I was still sweating up in the car, I tell you. And then went to the hospital. They dropped me off. I was all good. They laid me down straight away because they were worried about my heart rate, a little bit too low. But yeah, eventually, a couple of hours later, 2 stitches above my eye, and I was all good.
It
Ice
suits you.
pack sent home.
Yeah,
Thanks, mate.
A little bit of a battle scar.
I've actually got to go back to the doctor and get them taken out, which is annoying.
They're not the ones that just fall
dissolve.
out. Oh,
do something for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my weekend. It was a little bit rough, but after that, my wife got better. My eye healed up. Well, it's not healed up yet, but I haven't been able to wash my face properly.
Yeah, it's tough.
Since Sunday, so it's been a bit of a rough experience. But I'm all good.
Well, I'm glad you've come through the other side.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Yeah. Before that, on Saturday, tell you what, regular on SEN Track, Johnny O'Neill and that crew and Aussie Kerr with Nadal and Gringotts, those silks just airborne. I reckon if you put those silks on me, I would improve out of sight, because Nadal won
that was some sort of win.
He won like black caviar.
Because that was like, I haven't reviewed the meeting yet, but it was played up and in.
You want to be on speed.
You needed to be near the fence.
Yeah.
And you needed to be on speed, but he just got back and he just went whack.
That was after there was a fire at Cranbourne. It was all happening on the weekend.
There was a fire on the fence at Cranbourne as well. But the other horse as well, Gringotts in Sydney.
Yeah.
I was a little bit disappointed that I didn't find him. He was playing up and in there too. And there was, I put him on top. I tipped him, but he was backed as if he was unbeatable. I think he was $5 into $2.60.
Yeah.
He was crunched.
He seems a regular horse to be off the map. I remember when he won up in Queensland during the carnival, like he beat Knight's Choice that day. He was off the map that day too.
Yeah, the market has him going to a huge number, and on Saturday, because there was still some more to come, because he worked to get on speed over the mile in that big dance, and he did a good job winning there, but he was only third up there, and he was sort of still early in his preparation. First time in the preparation that he got to a mile, he got on a really fast tempo, and then this race looked to set up pretty nicely for him. There wasn't much speed engaged. He was always going to work over, put himself on speed, and he did that. His backers would have had a little bit of heart palpitations when that other horse loomed in the pink colours. What's his name? Superazi?
Oh, yeah.
Superazi loomed to beat him, but he just packed too many punches.
It's not often you see like a good miler do it both ends, hey, like go forward and run him into the ground.
He's he's a nice horse.
Yeah.
Like where do we have him going? Where do you reckon? Do you think he's I think
if they put up a Doncaster market tomorrow, all in, I reckon he's $9.
Is that a little bit of recency bias?
Yeah, for sure. Because I think
who's favourite?
Oh, but it'll just be the classic like Fangirl vs
Celestial Legend.
Yeah.
Celestial Legend.
Mr. Brightside.
Mr. Brightside.
I'd prefer.
He has won 2 Doncasters.
Yeah. I'd prefer to back like Steffi Magnetica in a Doncaster over Gringotts at the moment, but I feel like you'd get a better price about Steffi than Gringotts due to that recency.
I think that he is a very good horse, and he will win a big mile at Randwick, whether that be
he already has the big dance.
Wow, that doesn't count. But he could win. Like we still have
maybe the
Epsom
Epsom next year.
I know that's not a Group 1, but it's what you wouldn't consider it a big mile. But he's probably got that sort of race at his mercy now. But he could come back and win a Doncaster or an Epsom. I think was Happy Clapper. He won a Villiers, he won a Doncaster, and he won an Epsom, I reckon. And I think he's the only horse to ever do that.
Do that treble.
3 big miles at Randwick.
Yeah, well, I think Gringotts.
Well, he could go one bet at Gringotts.
He could go Big Dance,
4.
Big Dance, Gong, Villiers, Doncaster.
He could do 4 big Group 1s. Before we move on, let's give a shout out. Look, we got here.
Yeah, we got here in style today.
Absolute style. I didn't expect that. So
after last week, we caught the Uber because we've lost both our fearless leader and our Uber driver.
Yeah.
So we've been Ubering the last 2 weeks, and last week it was a little bit
It was
Suspect.
the drive there was okay. The drive home, that bloke was rough.
Yeah, so you
he
thought
was. Like, I don't know whether he was speeding around corners or I was on my phone, but I didn't feel.
We both got a little bit car sick after it, but
today I didn't feel car sick. I felt like I was a prince.
Yeah.
So when I was booking the Uber, it was, I think it might have been $11 for a normal Uber.
Yeah.
Maserati, $15.
Oh, you can't eat value,
absolute
can you?
bargain. And the bloke that drove it, Andrew from Savvy Transfers, A1.
Yeah.
Good bloke too.
Yep.
Knew his racing too.
He did.
Owned a couple of horses with Tony Gollan.
Yep.
So we got into that in our little 5-minute trip, but yeah.
I think one of them was a My Runner's horse as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Lyrical Girl. She was a good one back in the day. So
yeah, good one.
It was a beautiful way to get
races.
here.
Yeah, it was a nice way to get here. I was surprised. And it's not every day. Like maybe you go on a Maserati every day, but not me. Not about it like myself.
No, it was a very nice way to get here.
Good way to start the show.
I think so.
You know?
Yeah. We came in. We're like
myself.
We're going good.
Be good if I can make a putt on the way out. I'll tell you that.
We'll talk a little bit more racing on the other side of this break, punters. We've got a Group 1 to touch on and reflect on over in the Wild West. So stay tuned after this. Welcome back to the show. We are the Leg Up UPC Showdown. Tell you what, Friday, Saturday racing this weekend, Blake. UPC Showdowns all across the board. And Friday night, we have got the big three. We got Canterbury. We've got Moonee Valley. We've got the Sunshine Coast.
That'll be. I might even get involved in that showdown.
That's about as good as it gets. That's as good as you can get Friday night racing.
There are Friday night Group 1 racing in the Valley.
You got all three tracks.
It's big.
It's big.
It's big. I've actually, before we get stuck into the West, I've actually got one for us. For Friday night.
On the Friday night showdown.
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
give
So
it to me.
She's a dual acceptor, so I actually hope she goes to Canterbury on Friday night. So we're going to go to Canterbury, race 6, number 10, Callistamon.
Yeah.
It's flying. It's absolutely flying. It's around $11 at the moment. So off the back of one trial, first up behind Blazing Harry, hit the line sweetly, and then second up, I really like the improvement. Got back, tempo against, hit the line really well behind Watch My Girl. That was sort of an on-speed dominated race. Watch My Girl crossed over from the wide draw, sat outside the leader and got the job done. But this was running on from the back. She is just absolutely looking for 1,550 metres. I would have said a mile, but I'm happy with 1,550 metres. Draws well. Will be put into the race, and I think improves sharply.
I reckon I backed her first up. Was she like half like through the line, like she was on heels a little bit, like just held up and not a... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that Blazing Harry form, the market really liked Blazing Harry last week as well.
Yeah.
So that form's going to be good. The Watch My Girl form, she sort of measured up in black type company prior to that run. So I think that's really good form. This is sort of a drop back in peg. The current favourite, She's Unusual, is also a dual acceptor. Okay. So we want her to run as well, and we want Callistamon to run because $11 is a very good price. Like the form around her from last preparation, she'll handle it wet as well. That's another tick because there's plenty of rain about in the coming days in Sydney, so we might end up on a heavy deck, and she ticks that box. Like she was only beaten 5 lengths by Scarlet Oak on a heavy track at Newcastle, but that was a Saturday meeting. And then she's sort of like being tested in stronger company. They run her in a Queensland Oaks last preparation. So getting to a mile, I think that's her trip. Third up improves, back in grade, $11. Yes, please.
Lovely. So that's Canterbury, Friday night, race 6, number 10. That showdown not open yet, but I dare say it'll be open tonight by the time you're listening to this. So it's more than $7,500 in that pool already. And
that'll be a cracking showdown.
Yeah, you can enter from $3.75. You can pick up a ticket for. Blake, we're going to head west quickly. Well, not quickly. We've got a Group 1 in Perth. We want to talk about it, but before we do, Darren McCauley, now I know this has been touched on a lot, but Port Lockroy, first Eastern Sider to win the railway since Good Project in, 2013, 2015.
Yeah, 2015.
Yeah. And if you listened on the radio, you didn't
so I
think...
did all this bloody work last week, going through all the stats, how the mares had a bad record, the Eastern States Raiders had a bad record, the horses with more than 53.5 had a poor record in the race.
And they've come and said, hang on, nah.
Well, I put a line through him.
Yeah.
Based on the stats. No. He was a good winner.
He was.
Sox Nation, yeah. It was a pretty good win, right? No,
another Group 1 for Sox Nation on the page.
Yeah, Port Lockroy, it was a good win. Broke that sort of record. And it might be like the Eastern State Raiders have got a really good record in the Winterbottom on Saturday. So excited to see that. We sort of missed an opportunity. We sort of usually record our us watching Group 1 races for content, and it does really well on our content. But considering this race, what time was it run? Like 8 o'clock our time,
6:55 or something like that.
So yeah, I was watching it on my lonesome. You were watching it on my lonesome. We didn't record, but poor old Darren's called Sox Nation the winner. I was watching and I was like, oh no, that's the wrong horse. Like, this is Port Lockroy, and I was looking for another horse in yellow colours as well. Super Smink, who was a really good run back to the inside, just had that wide draw against and was held up at a key stage. But I think potentially we are advantaged on that one, considering like we're very familiar with those horses and those colours. So maybe, obviously it's forgiving because he's human, but like maybe we're in an advantage to see that horse and recognise that horse straight away because we're familiar with that horse.
Yeah, quite possibly. And like I feel for Darren because he's easily one of the best callers in the country, and like he's come up with some absolute pearlers.
I think he knew that he got it wrong as well.
The last 50, you could hear him sort of go, and he's like, "Oh, I reckon he's just like, I've got to stick with it now.
Had to go on with the
and
job.
I'll redo it after."
But yeah, because he knew. I reckon he knew that he was calling the wrong horse, but he didn't know which horse he was
meant to be calling.
So he was just confused, and like in that last 50 meters, you could feel it.
Yeah, you could tell. The other thing too that we're seeing as well, we get like along the screen, depending on what you watch it on, like they flash up the top 4 or 5 in the run. So like we can see like little Port Lockroy, the yellow silks. We know that's it. Darren doesn't get that. Obviously, it's his job to get it. But
is that automated?
I think so. Yeah, I don't know how it works. I don't do it.
Well, I don't know either.
Yeah, but potentially.
I see them wrong sometimes too.
Yeah.
So if they're not automated,
true,
somebody's getting them wrong.
Yeah.
But we got a big Group 1 this weekend.
We do. James McDonald, he's looking to get his first Group 1 winner in the West. Fresh off winning the world's best jockey, Ryan Moore, who he couldn't get the job done in Japan.
Yeah, we don't like. We're not big fans of Ryan Moore over here. He doesn't give us that
us
no
nothing.
comment treatment.
Yeah.
You don't come over here and do that to us.
No, we're team J-Mac all the way.
We've got big money on offer.
That's
You've
right.
got to talk to the media.
Exactly.
We're about the industry.
We are. We're big industry guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So J-Mac, deserved, best jockey in the world. It's crazy. Like I'd like to know how many rides he's actually had over in the West, like in Group 1 races. You wouldn't think
last
there would
year
have been many. He did he go and ride Cascadian last year in a railway?
He was definitely
stakes?
on Zaki. Maybe it might have been last year. Like got beat. He might have been on Cascadian.
I think he started very short in the market too, Zaki.
Yeah.
And I might have been one of them. I had something on him on the way down, but I think there was like potentially like $13 or $12.
I reckon I had 11, 8, and 6. And
I might have got him on the way down at like 6 or 8 or something along those lines. But
it was grim.
Yeah, it was grim.
Yeah, but he's on Lady Laguna this year, Blake, in the Winterbottom. Coming through a similar form line, she was beaten by Overpass first up in the Sydney Stakes, and then I think she took on maybe the Russell Balding, came back, got beaten again by Overpass in the Champion Sprint. Can she turn the tables on the horse that's 3 from 3 in the West?
It's interesting. I actually think that I'm just about to get her up on my computer, Lady Laguna. The current, is he favourite?
Overpass? Yeah, 290.
290. And what price is she?
Like 450.
Okay. Well, like the interesting fact about Overpass, so he's won 3 majors over there.
Yeah.
So he's won the Quokka, he's won the Winterbottom, and he's won the Quokka, and now he's going for back-to-back Winterbottom.
Yeah.
So when he won the Quokka, it's easy to say about this horse that fresh is best.
Definitely.
Right?
Yep.
So he's gone 154 days to win his first Quokka.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was third up into a Winterbottom, which he's third up into this Winterbottom as well. But when he was third up into that Winterbottom, he had a nice break. So he had 7 weeks, 49 days between runs.
That was from the Everest to the Winterbottom, I think.
I don't remember, but
yeah.
I think you'd be right.
Yeah.
I think you'd be right. And then he's won his second Quokka, and he's 140 days between runs. So 154, 49, and 140. This time around, he's third up into this race with only 21 days between runs.
Mm-hmm.
So, outside of when he did win the Winterbottom, his last preparation where he got third and fourth up, his form sort of fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
So, I think $2.90 from that wide draw, I think he's vulnerable.
Yep.
So I am with the Eastern States Raiders. Like the Winterbottom Stakes, like if we forget COVID in 20 and 21, Trekking was the only horse to go over in that time. He competed in 21. The Eastern States Raiders have dominated this race. They've won 11 of the past 14. So there's only, I think, 3 in this race this year. You got Overpass Mahaba and Lady Laguna. And Lady Laguna was building to something.
Yeah.
She was absolutely building to something prior to her run in that VRC Classic. So first up, I think she pulled up lame. She pulled up lame first up. And then she bounced back second up in that Sydney Stakes. She was a huge run. She drew 18 of 18. She went back. That was behind Overpass. She was held up at a key stage. I only reckon she got clear in that last 300 metres, but she really hit the line neatly. And then she's running in 2 really high quality sprinting races. The Russell Balding, she's finished third behind Bella Nipotina and Sunshine in Paris, who's come out subsequently won a Group 1, and then she's gone down the straight and she got back and she never came into it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe she's not a real straight horse. Maybe she's better around the bend. She draws perfectly here. Like if you go back to her Sydney Stakes, she was the one that drew off the track. Yeah. Now she draws one to get a cushy suck run in behind horses. Overpass started $5 there, and he was first up. He drew better. He was going to find the front, etc., etc. Like there was plenty to like about him there. This time around, she draws low. He draws out. He's deeper into his preparation. She's deep into her preparation as well.
But when she won like the Canterbury Stakes in the autumn and was just airborne,
she was very deep into her preparation.
She was running like up in Brisbane about this time of year, I reckon, and then they just kept going with her, and she just got better and better. So
she won the Canterbury Stakes 6th up.
There you go.
And then she ran second in the George Rider 7th up.
Yeah.
And then she didn't handle the heavy track in the Doncaster and was spelled immediately after. But so she. So what is she? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th up. She's just warming up.
Yeah.
And she gets
James,
the king, the world's best jockey.
Yeah.
Who are you with?
I'm with her.
You with her?
Yeah, I like her. Yeah.
So,
I thought she was very good first up, and like you said, I'm more than happy to be with her deep into the carnival. We're going to take another break. Blake, we got a bit more racing to talk about. A few tips. We got Zipping Classic Day, Sandown Guineas. There's a few races at Rose Hill and Doomben this weekend. So stay tuned. On the other side, plenty of tips coming up. We're only 6 weeks away from Magic Millions Day, Blake, so don't forget that there will be a Champion of Champions Day for selected winners who have played the UPC Showdown since they launched back in March on the Gold Coast on Magic Millions Day. We, the Leg Up, will be hosting these qualified players who will be competing only against themselves for a massive prize at an exclusive event on the Gold Coast. It's the 11th of January 2025, and you can still qualify, Blake. You can win a Wednesday, Friday or a Sunday showdown, or come in the top 3 on a Saturday showdown in the main event. So if you've won or placed in any of those showdowns, expect an invite coming your way for Magic Millions Day. How good's that?
You bloody beauty. I can't wait for that. That's going to be a good day.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be good. It's good. I love Magic Millions time. Like, everybody comes up to the Gold Coast.
Mm-hmm. This year,
We
this
go out
is
for
like
dinner a couple of times. We
Yeah.
make it to the sales.
Friday night slot race under lights this year on Magic Millions Eve. We roll into Champion of Champions Day. Then I roll into a bloody international flight to Fiji on Sunday
You're
morning.
going to Fiji on the Sunday.
Yeah, just-
I'm going to Fiji.
You're going-
What, two weeks later?
Yeah, something like that.
So you'll have to.
I'll get the pool nice
best
and warm
spots
for you.
and all that sort of stuff. I've got a voucher to the spa.
Oh, look out.
I can't wait until I get over there.
Yeah.
They've got kids club.
Oh, but there you
So
go.
no water bottles to the head for me. I can't wait. Gonna have a couple of bolters.
Yeah, do you reckon we got bold?
Four X over there.
Jeez, I hope so.
I don't know. I hope they got bloody bolter or stone and wood or something over there. But I'm sure they'll have something that
Something.
will quench our thirst.
Yes, wet the whistle. You're waving a ticket at me, and I can see on there, is that from the 1st of May?
Yeah. So
And it looks like it's done the rounds this ticket.
yeah. So this ticket has been sitting in my wallet for a long time. So the 1st of May. For those of you that don't know, on our socials we do a rollover bet. So we put in $100 and we try to roll that over for as long as we possibly can.
Usually about 2 weeks.
We really haven't got too deep into it, to tell you the truth, but we did get it up to 3,700 or something.
Yeah. Broadsiding got beat.
Yeah, broadsiding got beat in the Caulfield Guinea, so he let us down there. But I think that was due to Chow Wolf. We backed Chow Wolf when he won the Epsom around $7. So
Yeah.
this one was from, as I said, the 1st to the 5th, and we backed Spaycaster. So we had $100 on Spaycaster to place, which is pretty boring. But
Bolted him.
you won easy. We should back him to win. But $1.55. And I stupidly posted the video with the ticket in the video, which showed clearly the ticket number
Yep, and the
on the reel.
barcode.
And then I copped a couple of messages saying, BJ, you better take that down because somebody could collect it, etc., etc. So then I took it down. Race had run. I blurred the numbers so nobody could get it when I posted it back up. But I went to collect it in the afternoon after the race had run, and it said ticket does not exist. So I wasn't too concerned about it. I thought there was some type of problem, because usually if the ticket's already been collected, it says something like ticket has already been paid or something along those lines. So I just put it in my wallet, didn't worry about it. And then on, must have been Monday, I wasn't doing too much. Sonny was asleep, not throwing drink bottles or anything along those lines. And I had half an hour to myself. So I thought, I'll tick that off my to-do list and I'll call the people who I placed the bet with. And it turns out that the race was run at 4:25, and at 4:31 the ticket was collected.
Uh-huh.
Do you know where? Townsville. So my stupid mistake posting it online, it's just collected space in my wallet for the last 6 months, and it turns out that some, I'm going to say grub, got the number, waited for correct weight, and collected my $155.
Easy way to make an earn, isn't it?
Well, I'm going to put it down to my stupidity, so I'm not going to blame that person. I spoke to customer support and they said the only way to go about it is to make a police report. But I'm not going to make a police report over $155, Lady. We'll let that one go through the keeper. They can have their $155, and if they're knocking off money, I'm sure they'll get caught by someone.
Yeah. Up
So,
at Townsville too.
bloody grubs.
No good up there.
You don't have any relations up there or anyone. You didn't have a bowler up there collect
No,
the ticket or
it didn't
anything,
go
did
that
you?
far. No.
Where's Rocky in relation to Townsville?
Oh, we're much further south than that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. 800 Ks between.
800 Ks.
Yeah.
Bloody Townsville bastards.
That's right. Good way to put it. We're going to get back into a little bit of racing. Blake, Caulfield this weekend. It's weird saying that the Zipping Classic and the Sandown Guineas are at Caulfield, but that's the way it is this time around.
What is that? Why is that? Do we know that?
No, I think just
Or they're just the mix up of the spring.
Yeah.
They've just changed it
Just
up.
changed it.
Oh, bloody, this
Yes, ridiculous.
this it used to be the Sandown Classic. Now it's the Zipping Classic.
Yep.
Did he win it 4 years in a
He
row?
did.
That horse.
I'm happy for the name to be the Zipping Classic.
It should be the
but-
Zipping Classic.
should
It's
be.
his race.
Yeah.
But
Have you
there's
got a
good
winner
racing
for
at
us?
Caulfield on Saturday? I think I black booked Arapaho
Yeah.
off his first up run, which was really good behind Lindemann. He was held up at a key stage, and his work through the line was really nice. And that was he had the race shape against there, and then he measured up in the McKinnon Stakes. He finished 5th behind Via Sistina. So.
Yeah.
At weight for age as well. So that's got to be really good form for a race like this. And obviously, he's going to be hard to beat. But I thought the one for your UPC Showdown would be Muramasa.
Yeah, $13 is surprising.
That's a good price.
Yeah.
That's a really good price. Like, we were sort of talking about him as potentially, like, a good roughie if he got into a Melbourne Cup. Like, he
failed the vets, so...
So he failed the best vets in the Caulfield Cup?
No, the Melbourne Cup. So they scratched him because of the wet track on the in the Caulfield Cup.
And
they
then
went to
took him to
Geelong on the
Geelong.
Wednesday, and that got him in, like he was in the Cup before that, like he's high enough up the order, and then he failed the vets for the Melbourne Cup.
Okay, I forgot about that. But how did they get him into this race? Like, if he's not able to run in a Melbourne Cup, then
Who knows?
why is he here?
Yeah. Right.
Hopefully he passed a vet in between. But I think he is going well enough to win a race like this. Like, you've got a horse like he split once. Well, he finished behind one Smooth Operator and that other horse, Interpretation, who has finished 6th, unfortunately, in a Melbourne Cup. When we backed him to run top 5 at around $13 or something like that. That was not this year, the year before. He was well liked in that Melbourne Cup. I think that he got into around $21, $18, $17. Like, he was well liked in this Melbourne Cup. And then you've got a horse like One Smooth Operator who did he start favourite?
I think he did. Oh no, Buckaroo might have been firm just last minute.
Yeah, Buckaroo started favourite. I think he got out to about $9 on the morning of, and then he was well backed into second favourite. Started around $7, really firm. Was given no hope in the Melbourne Cup, but that form has to be good for a race like this. I know this horse has had a gap between runs. Now he's 38 days, but he's had those 3 runs under his belt, and he trialled really well running on. So draws well. I just think $13 is a good price.
Beautiful. I think Arapaho will be very hard to beat. Muramasa, he's been one of mine for a while, and Nonconformist might be the one I might put in my showdown.
So
Back
are you
to Melbourne.
pulling Arapaho's tail now that you missed the early price? Because
I've got a mate that's on the early price, so
you don't have to cheer.
I don't have to cheer them.
No.
No. I'm cheering whoever I've got in my showdown, which will probably be a quick pick.
Yeah, well, I'll be having Muramasa in my showdown.
We're going to go to another break, and on the other side, we've got 2 more races to cover. Plenty of winners on the other side. Alrighty, Blake. 2 more races to find a couple of winners in to boost the Festival Showdown. $35,000 already in the pool for Saturday's big one. You can get your tickets in from $12.50. We're going to go to Rose Hill. What race are we going to go? The feature race, race 8, the Festival Stakes. You like one?
Well, let me tell you, confidence is very low at this stage.
That's
because I had a look at the forecast, and there is a lot of rain forecast for this meeting. So whether or not that hits, we've got to be playing for. I think at best we're going to be looking at a soft 7 surface at Rose Hill. So we're going to be looking at a wet track. It could be bottomless.
Right.
So
just what we like.
So why I don't even know how to really even play this meeting yet, to tell you the truth. Because the fence could be no good. We could be on a heavy 10. They wide draws later in the day might just absolutely be insignificant. Yep. So I'm going to go to the Festival Stakes, and I'm going to go down the bottom. And this horse is drawn off the track. So he's drawn 18 of 18, and his name is Tannhauser. So I think this horse is well placed in a race like this. He was really, really good first up in that Theo Marks. He drew 12 of 13. He went back to last. He was finishing off in limited room. His last 600, he broke 33. So he's run terrific there. That was over 1,300 metres. He's had a gap between runs, tick over trial, gets up to 1,500 metres. The draw is, as I said, tricky, but if this rain falls, like, they might be getting to the middle of the track anyway, so it might actually be the perfect draw for him. And then, like, if you go back through his form, like, he really handles wet surfaces.
Yeah.
Like, he's running that, like, around April was really wet in Sydney, and they were absolutely bottomless tracks.
Yeah.
So you're looking at, in the form guide, it's saying a heavy 9, but they were really wet tracks, and his runs like that. His run in the Packer Plate was outstanding. His run in the Carbine Club, that was over a mile at Randwick, that was outstanding with the wide draw against. And that Packer Plate run, that was a fence-in run day. Do you remember that day?
I do.
That was just
Yeah.
red-hot fence,
Yeah.
and he was the only horse on the meeting that really found the line. He was the run of the day, and then he's gone to Doomben in that Rough Habit Plate, and he was backed as if he was unbeatable, and he beat the Oaks winner in Autumn Angel. So this is a real horse. Tick over trial, running that Theo Marks. He was back there too. He was 61 into 41 and forming around some really nice horses. So I think he can run a big race on a heavy deck, second up, getting to the outside. Just get over the top of them, big boy.
Beautiful. Bit of Queensland form. Nice. We're going to come up the highway to Queensland, straight up.
What's that highway called?
It's just the M3 or something.
M3?
Yeah.
Oh, good name.
Yeah. I don't know where the Bruce Highway finishes.
Bruce!
Yeah, the Bruce. Doomben, race 8. We got a Group 3, the George Moore Stakes. Now, Tony Gollan's won the last 3 editions of this race. Front page will come out. He's going to stay in New South Wales. So we will cop a little bit of deductions by the time this goes to air. But I'm with horse number 3, Zarastro here. There's a lot of speed, but he's drawn the widest. He can just bowl along, sort of take his time to get there, get down into the corner, keep that high cruising speed. And I think you just run them into the ground in the Group 3 feature with Ange Jones aboard. He won I forget what race it was. It was maybe a Healy Stakes at Eagle Farm at the end of June. And then he went to Melbourne in the Ori Star. He started $4.40, gave 4 kilos to Right to Party, got beaten by her, but she's come out split Sunshine in Paris and Bella Nipotina in the Champion Sprint. I loved his trial win the other day. Straight to the front, all over a winner, I think. Rothfire's first up in 11 months, 61 kilos.
What price is he?
Who's that? Rothfire?
Rothy.
$6.
Okay.
Pen.
Very good.
No.
Why is he first up for so long?
Well, everyone
happened to
thought
him?
that he was retired,
Oh, yeah.
and he's back. So there's enough excuses for me to put a pen to him first up.
Okay, well, Zarastro, that's that horse that used to be with Waller Hay, and they sold him on the
Yeah, they picked him up
the
cheap
digital
online,
sale,
and he's just
gone
nature strip.
crack,
Yeah.
bang, wallop.
And I reckon he's a summer horse. We didn't see him do much in the winter, but this time last year it was just unbeatable.
What about bloody Estadio Mestalla winning
No.
on Saturday? We were actually the underbidders on Estadio Mestalla. Would have been
We were.
nice, have him up here, but we've got our boy back in work. Pungo,
Pongo
formerly
and Genetic
with Chris
Freak,
Waller.
he's come back into
Yeah,
the
the Freak's
stables.
back. Freak
Yeah.
did a good job for us.
2 wins.
He won 2 races in his first preparation with Campo, and the other horse, he was flying prior to his first up run, and then he just hurt his tendon.
Yeah.
Put him away, gave him plenty of time. He's going to have a good preparation.
He is.
You'll be seeing him in your form guide in your UPC Showdowns on a Saturday, Eagle Farm or Doomben. Oh,
I can't wait.
He'll just go wallop.
$26 first up, bolt in.
That'd be nice. I'm gonna talk to Campo and I'm gonna say, hey, we want to win with this
wanna
horse
win.
first up.
Yeah.
1,100 meters, big track.
Yeah.
Because there was, he was trialing so well that
He
Campo
was.
was going to take him to 800 at
Yeah.
Gatton instead of trialing him again. Then
No,
instead, did
no.
we go to 1,000? Was it 1,000 at
1,000,
Sunshine
I think.
Coast that we
Yeah.
went to? Yeah. And he loomed up like he was going to bloody win, nice and easy.
Yeah,
He
would have
put
been
in a bad stride and then he was a beaten horse. But it turned out that he had a problem with his tendon and he needed a good break. So
He's had that now, and he's
had that.
ready to rock and roll.
Apparently, he looks great.
Mhm.
Second preparation. Can't wait to get into the trials. I think we'll probably go back to I think 1,100 metres fresh, but hopefully we can get him out to 1,400 metres this prep.
Hopefully, Blake. That's it from us. We're going to get out of here. We're going to go and buy a PlayStation 2 because I picked up an old edition of G1 Jockey for $2. And we're going to go home.
$2 is a cracking price. Let's get stuck in this afternoon.
Going to beat ya.
No way. See you, punters.
All right.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.